Alright guys, we are in Punta Gorda. It's a tiny little apartment complex. Honestly, it looks like all of these in Punta Gorda are empty. So we're in Punta Gorda, and you can see this one's for sale. And then the one next to it's for sale. And if you look a little bit further down the road, there's one for sale over there. This is about the fourth or fifth house for sale just on this street. You can see that there's an abandoned construction site here. And it's not the only abandoned construction site on this street. This is definitely an abandoned construction site here. You can see that the grass is starting to grow in. So this is a house where they started building it and they never finished it. And then right next to it is another abandoned construction site. And then behind that is another. So on this street here, there's several houses for sale and several abandoned construction sites. Does anybody want to buy some swampland in Florida? It's got water access. This house right here, it's either abandoned or heavily neglected, but it's not in good shape. Over here, you got one house for sale, and the one next to it, there looks like an abandoned construction site, but there's a truck there. I'm not sure what it's doing. Tell that it's heavily overgrown in the front. So this was like an abandoned construction site, and there is a truck there. I'm not sure why. So here's a beautiful, large house going in Cape Coral, but obviously it's abandoned. Yeah. You can see they got plywood on the windows, and the grass is overgrown. So this is a construction site where they quit halfway. Okay, so they're still working on this one. But look, they got plywood.
Watch out for the tractor.
Oh yeah, my bad. They're just bringing materials out here. So the notion that construction's come to a standstill in Cape Coral is not exactly true. So this house right here, they just built it and it looks abandoned already. Overgrown. The house next to it looks inhabited, but you can tell it's a new construction. And then they are just popping in another one right here. You can tell that this one, they just put in the foundation. It doesn't look like they're moving too fast, but if you go over here, you can see another one as well that they're building a pool. So there's still a lot going on in Cape Coral. Looks like they flipped a camper over.
Yeah.
Imagine with the cost of living in Southwest Florida, collecting scrap metal. Welcome to Fort Myers. This is a luxury retail community. It's luxury right here, y'all. This right here is luxuries. Alright guys, so we're back over here by Bonita Springs, and looks like there's an accident over here. Let me tell you, drivers in Southwest Florida are horrible. People are distracted or something. I don't know what the issue is, but the drivers have just been horrific on the way down here. I mean,
Seafood house.
Hey look guys, the Perkins in Bonita Springs is now some other type of restaurant. All right, everybody, so we're in Wiggins Pass in North Naples, and they're actually knocking down the building here that used to be the DSW Shoes. Allegedly, they're going to build a Publix here, so it'll be great for North Naples. So it'll be a really nice addition to this area of North Naples. Now, this plaza has had buildings that, since they built this, probably like 10 years ago they built this, they've never really had anybody move in. So this plaza still has buildings, units, that have never been leased since they opened this whole plaza. All right, guys, we're in North Naples, and this is a development, large community going in. It'll be a very affluent community. Now, these are going to be houses into the millions. And those buildings over there are relatively new as well. It's in a problematic job site because this used to be like a nature area, and now it's completely getting developed. There used to be bobcats, deers, eagles, all types of animals here, but now it's going to be a golf course for the rich people. What does Naples need? Another golf course. This used to be a beautiful wildlife area here, and it's just another golf course. I think it's gonna be like 40 houses because they're gonna be very generous sized lots, and obviously, you know, land here is not cheap, so these houses are all gonna be into the millions of millions. Of course, there are plenty of mansions right now for sale with price reductions here in Naples, but the rich people want to live in the new mansions. So these mansions are old already. They want new mansions and new golf courses because, you know, they have to have the absolute newest, most hip thing. So, you know, forbid a rich person has to move into an older mansion. We got Corley County Sheriff's Office here. Maybe somebody was just driving too fast. Naples is extraordinarily heavily patrolled. So this beautiful place here is known as the Finger Streets. These are non-essential properties because they're basically golf access, not quite mansions, but definitely luxury homes for the wealthy. And these are not essential. So whenever there's a recession or a economic hardship, these properties here, they sell because they're not essential. You don't need so you can see there's one for sale right here, but they're still building bigger, newer ones. But these are not essential properties. If things get rough, people will get rid of their beach homes. So some of these houses are just monstrosities that they're building. 5 with this one. Is that a for sale sign? 5.
Yeah.
6 with the empty lot. But again, these are very expensive pieces of land. They're probably into the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. So 7, 6 or 7, 8. Okay, so there's 8 for sale on this house. 9 over here. 9 houses for sale on this street. One at the end of the street's for sale too. This street right here is called Egret in North Naples. That's an advertisement. It's not for sale. So let's see how many are for sale on this street. Beautiful street, Egret. These houses are all into the millions here with golf access. Gorgeous place. You can see on the left they're building one right here. That's a vacation rental across the street. Got some Guatemalans over here. You can see some sandbags there from the last hurricane probably. Here we have one for sale. So on this street there's only one for sale apparently. 2 for sale. Okay, there's 2 houses for sale on this street, and then they're building 2 more. So understand, yes, people are selling houses, but other people are building houses. So the dynamic of this area is the following: some people are building houses, big houses with a lot of money, and some people are saying, hey, I don't really need a mansion right now, I don't need a beach home right now. They're reducing the price to get rid of it. So there's 3 on this house. This one makes 3, and then 4, and then maybe 5. I think there's another sign there, right? So there's 4 or 5 for sale on this street. And some of these houses, since there's so many of them for sale right now, are gonna have price reductions. So look how beautiful this home is right here, and it's for sale. Gorgeous home. It's for sale. It's got a lot of competition, but you know, a few houses down, they're building another one just like it. So here in Naples Park, North Naples, gorgeous area. A lot of money in this area. This is not a cheap place to live. Just look at the size of these houses. I mean, this is not regular money out here. That might be a mansion, right?
Probably.
That one might be an actual mansion. So on this street, we got one for sale. Extraordinarily large home right there. Look at how beautifully maintained these houses are. And again, big money. Look at the size of that house, man. 2 right here for sale. 3 with this empty lot. We're going to count the lots as a house because, like, if somebody buys an old ranch, they're just going to knock it down to build a McMansion. So on this street here, there's 3. Take a look at the size of this house, guys. That is unreal. That's insane. It's like a commercial building size house. 4, but that's a vacation rental, so that doesn't count. So we got 3 so far on this street. That's wild. Who needs a house that dang big? No wonder it's for sale. Okay, so here's 4 and 5 on this street. Now, back in the rural recession, what was it, maybe like 2012?
Yeah.
2012, every third house was for sale. So this still isn't as bad as the last recession. Here's a home for sale. So basically, we're in a recession. If you guys haven't figured this out. So this is 5 on this street, right? That makes it 5 on this street. So we're in a recession. That's where we are right now, guys. This is like 2007, 2008, all the way up to 2011. It's a recession. That's where we are right now. It's not as bad as that one, because back then, every third or 1/3 or a quarter of the houses were for sale. It's not that bad yet. That's 5 with this one, right? And then 6 with this one over here. So on every street, there's 6 or 7 houses for sale. Beautiful houses, by the way. Okay? But it's non-essential. You don't need... I've worked in all these houses here. Every last one of these houses, I've worked in them over the years. But it's non-essential. Okay? You don't need these properties. So 8 with this one on the left. But look, at the end, they're building another one. So you understand the dynamic of what's going on. So here you have somebody building one. So on this street, there's 8 houses for sale, yet somebody is currently in the process of building a house. So it's a strange dynamic. It's weird. Let's call the realtor and make an offer.
No.
I like it.
No, we can't afford that.
I could see myself living there.
I know, but we can't afford that, love.
But I could see myself there. This is Naples Park, Florida. You're seeing 3 signs all in a row, and actually you can see a 4th one behind it, and across the street you can see another one. So this is the reality of Naples Park right now. And here we are on the same street, and it's the same thing again. I mean, it's nothing but signs. But then on the same street, they're also building a new house. So, and this is why I love Florida, mango season. So many years ago, my family used to have a landscaping company here, and they stepped away from it because eventually the undocumented people were working for far too little. It just wasn't. It became to where, people used to pay $120 to mow a lawn, and guys would come around and start mowing lawns for $60, and then you couldn't do it because it was not worth it anymore. And looking back on it now, it probably wasn't a bad thing that happened, because now my family has better businesses and better things going on. So anyways, that's kind of what happened here in Naples Park with like landscaping, for example, where my family used to do that. And when I was 16 years old, I started my own landscaping company when I was a minor. But then guys would start doing it for less and less. Now, this little street's called CB. Take a look at what's going on in this street. I mean, look at that monstrosity being built over there. And look at this thing here. I mean, this isn't even... Is that a house or a commercial build? It's like the size of a hotel. Like, look at the size of that house. That's not even... That's definitely a mansion. So yeah, they're building. There's no doubt about it. So take a look, guys. This is a house being built here in Naples Park on the Finger Streets in North Naples. This is a house. It's extravagant. All right, guys. So new apartments going in over here in Naples. There's a for rent sign on a freaking tree here, man. That's how desperate people are to get properties rented right now. A for rent sign right here. And Lehigh Acres right there. All right, guys. So welcome to Lehigh Acres. We're on the corner of Lee Circle and let's see what street this is. Lee Circle and 5th Street West. I wanted to record across the street. There's a bunch of for rent signs, but there's like 4 guys hanging out in front of a Family Dollar, and looks like they're trapping or something. It was just way too sketchy, so I decided, you know what? It didn't even feel safe getting out of the freaking car at that gas station. So you can see here they're preparing a lot to build a house, so they are still starting new constructions. I mean, on the next block over, there's another house going up, so yeah, they're still building houses here. I mean, they're still building in Lehigh. So So here's yet another new house going in Lehigh Acres, guys. So no, they are not stopping building new houses. Take a look at this, guys. Not one, but 2 houses for rent on this corner here in Lehigh. Oye, hacer, te reparo el crédito para que te compras una casa, hacer. All right, this is why I love Lehigh Acres, and I used to live here in Lehigh Acres. But look at this, guys. We got Cuban food. I see looks like some Honduran flags as well. Commend it. Look, they got Cuban pizza, y'all. Check it out. Cuban pizza. They got Haitian too. Cuban, Honduran. You can see Haitian over here, Venezuelan over there, Honduran over here. You're gonna get your Puerto Rican, your pupusas, all that good stuff over here. Good. You got pupusas over here, so Salvadorian, Puerto Rican over here. This is why I love El Pilon right here. So you got Puerto Rican right here. What else is over here? Mexican over here. You got tacos. So this place is lit, man. You got like, look at all these different trucks, man. Burgers over here. This is pupusas and stuff like that. So really awesome. Puerto Rican, Cuban, all these different nationalities, Salvadorian, Honduran, all this good food out here in Lehigh. Come and check it out. Nicaraguan here too. You got Nicaraguan right here. So we got a lot of Nicaraguans where we live in Sarasota and Bradenton too. Yo, welcome to the Buckingham section of Lehigh. You can see a new duplex going in. They're working on it right now. All right, guys, so these are rental properties here in Lehigh Acres, and as you can clearly denote, abandoned, right? This is a new construction here in Lehigh. It's a rental property. It used to rent for $2,400 a month, but ain't nobody gonna pay that right now, so it's empty. Here's another one as well. Again, new construction rental property that's vacant right now, grass overgrown. This house would normally rent for $2,400. But right now, ain't nobody renting. So this is a far too common sight here in Lehigh right now. So once you get off, off the main roads and into the neighborhoods, you start to discover properties like this. It's a brand new house, and it's completely neglected. Eventually, the grass will get inside the air conditioning coils, and this will eventually be a problem if this house continues to be uninhabited. So that's the situation here right now. But despite that, they are still building at the same time. So, I mean, mixed signals out here, but that's what's going on. Yeah, they're still building left and right at the same time. Now, here in Bradenton, we have the Tropicana plant, and that provides a lot of jobs to inner city people. In fact, a lot of people here in the poor neighborhoods work at the Tropicana plant. That's where this train's coming from. But with orange production being reduced, because all the people that work in the fields are undocumented, it'll be interesting to see what type of effect that will have on the city, since many of the people that live here in the city depend on agriculture for their urban jobs, with the Tropicana plant being here in Bradenton.